Fans of Donald Trump say, no, Trump did not cost Peter Dutton this election. And the proof is that Trump's biggest political ally in the West is Nigel Farage, head of Britain's anti-immigration Reform Party. Yet last week, Farage had a huge win in Britain's council elections, smashing both Labour and the Conservative Party, and even winning a parliamentary by-election for what had been a very safe Labour seat. Joining me from London is writer, broadcaster and columnist Esther Krakue. Esther, great to see you. Now, in Canada and Australia, Trump is blamed for destroying right-wing oppositions in the elections last week. In Britain with Farage, he did not. Why not?
I mean, with Britain and Farage has been one of the most consistent and visible politicians for the last 20 years. I think that's why the dynamic is quite different. In Canada and Australia, for example, I think the Conservatives really struggle to paint an actual positive, consistent, coherent future for their countries. But in Britain, the fact is that the two main parties, people are getting the sense that actually we can't really do much worse than this lot. So what do we have to risk with going with Nigel Farage? And also, Farage has been consistent for 20 years. I mean, this man has always said what he thinks. No one can doubt what he thinks. And I think people are really starting to trust that he has a coherent ideology that could actually pull Britain from the rut. I mean, this man took reform from 2 councillors to over 600. He bled the Tory party and the Labour Party in fantastic ways. I mean, they won mayoral seats and deep red wall seats in the north of England, really industrial seats. And he also won another MP in Parliament in one of the safest, I think the 16th safest Labour seat in the country. I mean, these are the kinds of people that end up in the cabinet because they're basically unshakable. So I think it's quite different. I do think Elon Musk also helped because I think it showed that Nigel Farage was willing to kind of go against the whole Trump-Elon coalition when it suited Britain. And I think that's something that Pierre Poilievre and Peter Dutton in Australia struggled to get through.
Yes, Elon Musk even told Farage very publicly he had to quit, resign as leader because he wasn't right-wing enough. So that's obviously helped him. No one could say that Farage was copying Trump. It was the original. Prince Harry last week lost what he called his most important court case yet to force British security services to give him and his family the same protection as other members of the royal family. He then gave this bitter interview.
Of course, some members of my family will never forgive me for writing a book. Of course, they will never forgive me for lots of things. But, you know, there is. I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. As I said, life is precious. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile.
Esther, how much is this man in denial when elsewhere in the interview he says he wants reconciliation with a family he suggested might want him killed?
Yeah, I think he's delusional. I mean, he wants reconciliation with a gun to their heads. How can they reconcile with a man who runs to Netflix and the press when he doesn't get his way? I mean, how exactly is that supposed to work? He thinks the only reason why they don't speak to him is because of the security stuff, which, by the way, the courts were right. But what about his book? What about the Oprah interview? What about the fact that he insulted his sister-in-law and stepmother and brother? I mean, he's completely deluded. It actually beggars belief. But he's going to have a hard reckoning at some point.
Yes, what's been the reaction? I see leaks from the palace, supposedly, I never know whether to take them seriously, that the King's courtiers are saying it's delusional.
He is delusional, and the king will probably never speak to him now. I think this man who's 77, who's undergoing cancer treatment, shouldn't have to deal with his belligerent son running to the media all the time. Most people, again, are calling for their titles to be removed. But also, you know, I think most people have sympathy with the royal family. Even people who are not royals, how could you tolerate someone that, you know, blast all your personal, intimate family details online, on the media, to the very press that he disdains and thinks killed his mother? True. He is completely delusional.
Esther Krakue, always great to talk to you. Thank you so much.